Autism and trains. Both have a very heavy link within themselves. But why? Well, that's why I'm here to find out. So join me as we go on a journey to explore why trains have such a deep connection with people on the spectrum. I'll be talking to health professionals as well as people who have such a big personal connection to the subject. This is Autism and Trains. I first spoke to Georgia, who is a nurse from Park Green Surgery in Macclesfield, about mental health and its effects on people within the autistic spectrum. Would you say autism has a big connection with depression and anxiety?
Yeah, definitely. It's very common. I think in my job, we see it quite a lot because obviously, we want people to come in for health checkups and things. And obviously anxiety, does stop people coming in for them things.
So what signs should someone look for a person who is on the spectrum?
More withdrawn or not engaging as much or showing signs of anxiety, not wanting to leave the house and things like that, really. I think that's the biggest thing. It's, kind of probably friends and family recognising it first, really.
What's the best advice you could give to help support someone who is autistic and is suffering with their mental health?
I personally think the best thing is to actually speak to the person and find out what's best for them, really, because some people want more support than other people do. Some would rather just come in, get it done and leave as quick as possible, whereas others would like hour-long appointments and to be told what's going on and everything to be explained.
After the discussion with Georgia, I decided to venture and find people who further explain the connections. I took a trip to Town, where I spoke to Luke Ryan, who was in charge of the social medias at the Talyllyn Railway. So I asked about his opinion on the connection of trains and how volunteering is used to improve their mental health. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you, Luke, for taking the time to discuss this topic with me. I want to know, when did you realise that you had an interest in trains, firstly?
I don't think it was conscious. It's just always been a presence in my life. I know certainly when I was very, very young, my mum used to say the lampshade in my bedroom above the cot was a Thomas one. I've not known a time in my life kind of without that interest.
What would you say volunteering at railways help people who are on the spectrum?
In the Talyllyn's case, at the moment, it's really good because we have such a wide breadth of volunteers from all walks of life. Certainly for young people, we're saying it's always attracted that slightly neurodivergent audience. It has been life-changing for myself included. I suffered quite badly with anxiety at the time when I first came and joined, and I'm so much more confident. And I think that is the key to it. But it helps people from all walks of life, but certainly the neurodivergent and autism kind of spectrum. It's just all about having fun. And if you can feel comfortable and feel supported, then you're going to have fun.
Another person who has a connection to the Talyllyn Railway is Jay Matthews, who is an avid volunteer and recently was diagnosed with autism. I spoke to Jay about how this has changed his life and how it influenced his love of trains. So, Jay, when did you realise that you were on the spectrum?
It started more in my teens. I just realised I was a bit more different in high school than the other kids. Very intense interests, and I was just acted a little different. I didn't know if I was actually autistic. I looked at some things and it seemed like it, but I couldn't be tested at the time.
In your personal life, who have been like the greatest supporters of you being autistic?
My dad and my stepmom, they've been the biggest supporters. My stepmom pushed very much for me getting an autistic diagnosis.
So how would you say volunteering has helped you?
It's helped me make a lot of connections where I guess I wouldn't normally. I meet a lot of people who are on the spectrum or think they're on the spectrum. I formed a friend group around that, and I think volunteering for Heritage Railways is a good place to meet those sort of people.
Let's cross over to Australia, where we go to 2GB Sydney and ABC radio producer Tom Denham, where we talked about his perspective of how liking trains has improved his social life.
It was really nice to find a social group that really stuck to that kind of stuff. We would go on train trips like a couple of times a year, or we'd go to model train shops. I think that there is a chemical balance that kind of keeps the brain in a very happy space. And I think it's so incredibly important. It makes you such a better person. I think everybody needs something to be happy about.
So, after talking to people from different walks of life, I can conclude that autism, whilst being broad within its spectrum, really does bring people together. And having different perspectives tells us that the interest of trains has such a positive effect on the lives of autistic people.